Hi. Um, this is the second installation of my exploration blog, In Search of Freedom. And I thought that today I would just go out and take pictures with my camera. I usually don't get to do that much, and I've always enjoyed doing it. It's a lot of fun. I just needed some time to myself today. I was going to take people with me, but I decided that it wasn't necessary. So I got a tripod, I got my camera, and jumped in my car. And I started driving, and I was really excited, so I stopped and started taking pictures of the power lines because, it's really energizing, ironically, just being out in that field. It's not too far from my house, so that's kind of what you'll see below to start with. But then I started driving to the nature center, and on the way to the nature center, there's a child care place. I believe it's called KinderCare. And I had pulled into the parking lot before, maybe once or twice, because there was what looked like a graveyard behind it. Now, up until the point today, I had thought that graveyard was locked. There was a big padlock on the gate, and I completely ignored it. I said, you know what, that's fine. I'm not meant to go in there. Fine. But as I was driving towards there today, as I was driving because the nature center's past it, something in me made me turn. I literally, I could hear the tires screech. I twisted the wheel and pulled right into the parking lot of this childcare place. Nobody was there. The parking lot was empty except for the buses that were for the childcare company. And I just parked my car and went towards the fence, and I started looking at it, and I kind of peeked in between the excuse me, peeked in between the fence, and I saw all these gravestones, and I was like, oh, that looks fantastic. I wish I could take pictures of it. But the gate's locked, and I shouldn't go back there. Well, the next thing that happened almost blew me away. I went to the side of the fence and started looking around more, and I noticed that entire sections of the fence near the corner were completely gone. And I could see the pieces of the fence, as though they'd been smashed by a car or something huge, just twisted up and laying on the ground in front of where the fence used to be. And I was like, you know what, I gotta jump on this. Something is telling me I have to go in here. Well, on the gate to the actual place, there was a placard that said, preserved by the Dunwoody Preservation Trust. I was like, oh, okay, so it should be in great shape. I walk in, start looking around, and I see about 30 bags of mulch sitting there in a pile. And I was like, okay, this doesn't look very preserved. There's mulch laying everywhere. But I kept going. I gave it the benefit of the doubt. But as I went in, what I saw was horrific. It was awful. There were gravestones smashed and broken, laying on the ground. There were tennis balls there was a tennis ball on one of the gravestones. Pieces were just, literal massive granite headstones, huge granite headstones, had been pushed off their rebar platforms and knocked over. Some graves were as recent as 2002. Some were as early as 1820. I felt like I had to take these pictures. I had to document this because it was horrible. But at the same time, it was liberating because I wanted other people to see that this has happened. And that this is how we're treating our past. This is how we're preserving our past. Some people say that we learn most by looking at the past. I think what I learned today was we learn the most about ourselves by looking at how the past is taken care of. We become complacent. What I saw, it was really sad. It really was. But it was liberating to walk around this gravesite, all these different tombstones, and see how they're being treated. Because it made me never want to let that happen. Ever. Hopefully, it'll shape me, and it'll affect me positively in the future. So below, you can see the photos from my adventure and what I learned, what I saw.